Please mute your audio. Okay. So when we talk about the research, so research is all about, if you say research is simply the happening or non-happening of certain events, you can say. Like in case of probability, you have learned that the probability is occurrence or non-occurrence of some event. In the same way, research, you can say that is the happening or non-happening of something. So in research, basically, you will get some raw data, and from that raw data, you will collect some information, and that information will be used by the organizations for further course of action. Means you will collect some raw data, and then that raw data you will do some analysis, you will do certain kind of data analysis by using different softwares, and then you will get some information from that particular data, and that data will be used for further course of action. The different organizations, the different managers will use that particular information for taking some decisions. Okay, so if I discuss this definition of research, if I define, so as per the definition of research by the which is given by the American Marketing Association, so research is a function which links the consumers and the customers to the marketer organization through information. One more thing is added here, employees and the organization. So if I'm talking from the perspective of HR perspective, then employees and organization, you can say research act as a linkage, or you can say it act as a function which makes a linkage between whom employees of the organization and the organization itself. Means if the HR means the employees who are working in any organization, and organization want to know what is whether the employees are satisfied with their job condition, what is the employees commitment level with the organization. So you will find all these things by doing some certain kind of research. So that is called research. Means in term, if I discuss this in terms of HR perspective, so it creates a linkage, or it is a function which connects, which make a proper connection between the employees and the organization. If I talk from the marketing perspective, then it is a function which links the consumer and customers to the marketer. Means every marketer or every organization wants to know what is the need, demand, or what is the want of the customer, and then accordingly every marketers will know what type of new products the customers are wanting, or what strategies we should make in order to persuade the customers. So marketers, so consumers or the customers, the marketers are able to know the needs and wants of the customer, and then accordingly they make their strategy, or they will do some changes, or they will refine their existing plan or their strategy. So definition is clear. If I define the research in terms of, you can say, HR perspective, then it is a function which creates a linkage between whom the employees of the organization and the organization itself. And in terms of marketing, if I define it, so it is a function which creates a linkage between the consumers and the customers and to the marketers through certain information. From where did you get this information? And you will get this information by collecting some data. You will use that data for the further, you will do certain analysis on that data, and then you will use that data for further course of action, or further taking some decisions. So second, again, a new definition of research, you can say, as I already discussed, the research is basically the 6-stage process. I have already discussed in all the 50 lectures, we will define these 6 stages one by one. So as per the definition is concerned, the research is a very systematic. Systematic means it is a step-by-step process. For step-by-step process for what? For objective identification, for collection, analysis, dissemination, and the use of information. So what I said, it is a systematic and objective identification, collection, analysis, dissemination, and use of information. So what is this identification, collection, analysis, dissemination, and use of information? Let me explain all these one by one. So whatever research you will do, you should have some objective or some problem in your hand. Without knowing your objective, you cannot perform any kind of research. Suppose you want to have some, like, let's say, career planning, or what do you want to do in your career, means what career options are available to you after you will complete your this BCom or BBA or BBM, so whatever degree you have. When you will be graduating, what are the career options available to you? So what you will do, you will do certain kind of research, you will go through the website, you will ask your relatives, friends, seniors, whatever. So you are doing certain kind of research. For what? For what purpose? The purpose is to know the career options available to me. So that is the objective of your. Sorry. Yes, Sumit. Sumit. Sorry.
Ma'am, he accidentally unmuted.
Huh? What happened? What happened, Sumit? What happened? Unmute your audio. What happened? Am I audible or not? Hello?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible.
Yes,
Then
sir, they're audible.
why this disturbance?
Ma'am, he accidentally unmuted.
Ma'am, you continue.
So where I was? So research is a systematic, or you can say it is a step-by-step process. For what? For objective identification. So I was explaining you should know the objective of your research. Like you were exploring the career options available to you. So you are doing certain kind of research or a very short research. For what purpose? The purpose or the objective of your research is to know what are the career options available to me after I will be graduated. So for any kind of research, you should have certain kind of objective in your mind. Clear? On the basis of that objective, you will collect some data. You will collect some data and then you will do some analysis. You will use that SPSS or the MOS software. You will do some analysis, and then finally you will from that after analyzing that data, you will get certain kind of information, and that information you will use that information for further course of action or for your further decision making, or to tell others what is the findings of your research. So this 5 or 6 stages are clear to you. Like research is a systematic, or you can say it's a step-by-step process. What are the steps? Like first you should know, before performing any kind of research, you should know what is the objective of your research. Then how will you objective identification. Then after that, when your objective is clear, then accordingly you will collect some data. On the basis of your objective, you will identify the variables. What are the variables that I should study in my research? Then you will collect some data, and then on that data you will perform certain kind of analysis. That analysis part we will do in SPSS. We will discuss what are the different analysis we will do. Then after analyzing that data, you will get certain kind of information, and you will use that information for further course of action or for your further decision making. So that is for the purpose of improving decision making related to the identification and solution of problems and opportunity in the organization. So it is clear, you will use that decision, whatever decision you will get, for the objective identification, you can say, or like you will get the solution of the problems. Like you are looking for the career options. When you will do certain kind of research, you will do analysis, you will get some information. On the basis of that information, you will take some decision. So that is the solution of the problem or the solution of the objective. Means you are looking for the career options, you will do some research and you will get the solution. Okay, what are the opportunities available to me? Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
If we go through the definition of the very concise definition of the research, so you can say that is the data, information and action. You will collect some data based on the objective of your research. You will analyze that data, and that you will get some information from that data, and that information will be used for the further course of action, or you will take some decisions based on that action. Okay, so that is a very concise definition. You can say organization need information, and you will get that information from the data you have already collected. You will get that data on the basis of your objective you have, and then you will get data, then you will do certain analysis, and you will get this information, and then finally you will from that information you will take your action, whatever action you want to have. Then why the organization, every organization perform research? Why the research is important for the organizational purposes? So research is important. This will help the organization to identify and define organizational opportunities and problems. Means the research will help every organization to identify and define what the organizational opportunities, what are the opportunities available to the company or any organization, and what are the problems basically here, the what are your weaknesses and what are the threats in the market. Like in marketing you have heard about that SWOT, and not only in marketing, you might have heard about the SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunities and threats. So research is basically used by any organization in order to identify and define the opportunities available in the market, and the problems basically includes your what are the threats in the market, and threats and the weaknesses. Okay, now when you can define and identify the organizational opportunities and problems, then you can generate, refine and evaluate the organizational performance. Means when any organization knows what are the opportunities available and what are the weaknesses and threats in the market, then accordingly they will generate some new marketing, not marketing, I cannot say it's a marketing plan. They will generate their business plan accordingly, they will refine their strategies accordingly, and they will evaluate the organizational performance. Means initially what they have, after performing the research, after identifying and defining the organizational opportunities and problems, they will define, means they actually know the opportunities and threats, and then accordingly they will generate some new business plan, they will refine, they will do some changes in the existing business plan or the existing strategies, and then they will work accordingly. Third is to monitor organizational performance. Means research is used to monitor organizational performance. Means whatever you have fixed or whatever you have set for your organization, whether you are going in that direction or not. So for that purpose also research is used by every organization. To improve the understanding of different department works as a process. So it, like in any organization, whether it's a very small company or a big company, it doesn't matter. Every company or every organization has one marketing department, one HR department, one accounting, production, everything is there. So research helps them to work as a process. Means even every organization has one R&D department, research and development department. So they work accordingly, they do certain kind of research, they will do some study, and then accordingly they provide all the information to the different departments. Like we are going to produce some new product, so for that they will talk to your this finance or accounting department, then finance, accounting department, production department will say we need that much labor force, then that is the work of HR department. So you cannot say research is concise to any particular subject or any particular area. Research helps every organization to work as a process. Means all the different departments will work together to run the company. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so research is important to identify and define the organizational opportunities and problems, to generate, refine and evaluate organizational performance, to monitor organizational performance, improve understanding of different department works as a process. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Anybody have any doubt, you can ask. I'll repeat. No doubt? Okay. Now, organizations need information about the environment in which they operate. So here, every organization needs information for what purpose? For to know about the environment. Here, environment doesn't mean the natural environment. Here, environment means the type of industry they are. Like XUB, Xavier University is in the educational industry. So always Xavier University needs to know what is happening in the educational industry, what are my competitors are doing, what I am doing. So every organization need information for what purpose? For the environment, means in the type of industry they have and what their competitors are doing, what are the opportunities available to me. So that is one more purpose for performing research. Okay, I will use the term this data and information. What is the basic difference between the data and information? If I talk about data, so data is some raw facts, recorded measure of certain phenomena. But information, you will transform that raw facts into some useful information. Then that is called information, means you will perform certain analysis and then accordingly you will get some useful facts, or you can say some information that is used by the managers to take some decision or to base some decision. Suppose if I say I have the marks of all the students from your batch in the different subject. In your first year, whatever marks you have secured, I have all the marks. So you can say that marks will act as a data for me, because it is just a recorded measure of all the subjects, whatever you have in your first year. I have all the subjects marks for of all the students. So that is the raw data for me. But if I perform certain analysis, if I calculate the mean, or you can say if I make a flow chart, or you can say some histogram, pie chart, then I will get some information, like that particular student is very good in that particular subject, that particular student scored very less marks. So from that data I am getting some information, some useful information. So if I have your marks only, then that will act as a data, or you can say some raw facts. But I will convert that data into information when I get some useful things, like that particular, like if I say Anurag is very good in marketing research, or if I say Ankita is very good in HR. So that information I am getting by analyzing that particular data. So the difference between the data and information is clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So definition of research I have already discussed. Now I will discuss about the classification of research. The research is classified in different parts. If I say the first is problem identification and the second is problem solving research. We will further discuss in the coming lectures about the three other types of research, which is the exploratory research, descriptive research, and the causal research. So first, if I talk about this problem identification research. So problem identification research is basically the proactive. When the researcher is very proactive in nature, then the researcher will perform identification research. But when the researcher is very reactive in nature, then he will perform problem solving research. Problem identification research is research undertaken to help identify problems which are not necessarily apparent on the surface or exist or are likely to arise in the future. Okay, means you are proactively working. Means suppose you want to launch a new product, or suppose you want to start a new company. So for that purpose, before starting or before launching, what you will do, you will perform certain kind of research, like who are the competitors in my market, what is the demand for my product, or how I will proceed, what are the resources available to me. So you will perform that research before launching or before starting a new company. So that is called the problem identification research. Like I have given you example of career options available to you after you will be graduating. So when you will be graduated and you are looking for the career options from the day to day, means today, from the today when you have started the career options available to you after you will be graduated, means you are working proactively. You know that I will face problem, I will when I will be graduating, so I should know what I should do after I will be graduated. So you are working proactively and you want to avoid the problem that will arise in the future. So that is called the problem identification research. Means suppose you launch a new product, so in that case you should know who are the competitors, what is the consumer's attitude towards my product. So these are the different things. That is called the problem identification. Or suppose I want to take this classes through Zoom, so I should know what are the problems I will face. So I should have a very good laptop, or you can say touch screen, or you can say the good internet connectivity, camera, and then the headphones and all. These are the things that I have identified earlier. So I'm not facing any problem right now. So that is called the problem identification research. Second is problem solving research. Research undertaken to help solve a specific, not marketing problem, that is a specific problems, you can say a specific organizational problem, you can say. So means when the problem exists, then you are looking for the solution. If I say, if you start a new business but it is not running very well, now you are looking for the solution. What are the reasons why I failed, why my business has failed? So that is called the problem solving research. Means when you already have problem and now you are looking for the solutions. Or why my new product failed, now you are looking for the solutions. So these are the solutions. So competitor's product is very good, then you can say my price is very high, quality wise we are not good. These are the solutions available, or these are the options that you can find after you have that problem. So problem identification researchers are basically proactive in nature, and that problem solving researchers are generally reactive in nature. Means problem identification, you will avoid the problems that will arise in future, but in the problem solving, you already have problem and now you will be looking for the solutions. Clear? I will ask questions.
Yes.
Later on, yes, later on I will ask questions. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay. Now, the research process. So this is the six stages of the research that we will discuss throughout the 50 sessions. So first stage is problem definition. Problem definition means what problem, what type of problem you have and for what purpose you are doing your research. Means like career options, or suppose you want to launch a new product. So that is your problem. You want to launch a new product and now you are looking for the you want to do some research to know what are the threats or what are the opportunities available to me. So the first step in any research process is that problem definition, or you have to define some problem. Second step is development of an approach to the problem. Means from that problem you will define your objective to identify, like in the first step your problem is career options to me. Second step, development of an approach to the problem. So you will define your objective to what is the objective of my research, to identify the career options available to me after I will complete my BBMD. So that is you are developing, or you are developing your objective. That is my problem and now I am trying to this is the objective of my research. And also in step 2 you will identify the different variables in order to define your objective. For example, again, the sales of the product is very low. Let's say that is the problem. Suppose you launch a new product and the sales is very low. So here your problem is sales is low. Why sales is low? That is the problem. Again, you will perform step 2. You will define the objective to identify the reasons or the solutions for low sales. Okay, so that you have defined this objective. Now at this stage also you will identify the solutions, in the sense you will identify the variables. What are the variables which is responsible for this low sales of my product? So you can say that is a consumer attitude, you can say price conscious consumer, or very high price, you can say, then very less quality, or competitors' product quality. Similarly, in the case of, let's say, HR and HR personnel, so in organization, in order to know what are the you can say employees' commitment towards the organization, you want to know. That is the problem. The employees' commitment, whether the employees are committed towards their organization or not. So that is the problem. Now you will define your objective to know the employees' commitment towards the organization. That is your objective. Now, in order to know the this employees commitment, there are some certain variables like job satisfaction, whether the employee is satisfied with their job, work environment, job or not job, the boss of your boss or the to whom you are reporting. So these are the different variables, or you can say different factors that will affect the employee's commitment. So in the step 2, you have to identify, firstly you will define your objective on the basis of your problem, and then from that objective you have to identify the different variables that is available, and that will affect, or by using that variable you will develop certain hypotheses. We will discuss it later on. You will develop some hypotheses, and then accordingly you will work. Third step is research design formulation. So this is the, after defining your problem, after defining your objective, after knowing what are the variables available to you, you will proceed towards the step 3. In the step 3, we will talk about the scales. What are the scales? Different scales we will discuss about. We will here in step 3 also we will define, or we will discuss about the questionnaire. Means for the data collection process, you will develop some questionnaire. You will make that questionnaire on the basis of variables you get in step 2. In step 2 also we will perform some literature review. We will do some literature review, and then in step 3, whatever variables you will get, you will make questionnaire on that variable. Again, here also we will talk about the sampling. Means what will be the sample, what sample size should have, and who will be my sample. So these are the things that we will discuss. So in the research design formulation, basically we start from the scaling. What are the four? There are 4 types of scales, so we will discuss that 4 types of scaling. Then when we discuss this, then we will make questionnaires. So what are the questionnaires, how to make questionnaire, we will discuss. Then later on, what should be my sample size, and who will be my sample. So these are the things we will discuss in step 3. Fourth step is all about field work or data collection. Means so here, from here we will collect our data. Field work means the researcher, or the researcher who is collecting the data, what qualification he should have, or what kind of experience he or she should have. So field workers means what kind of training they should have. So these are the things that we will discuss. Then in the fifth step we will talk about the software, that is your SPSS and MOS software. You might have read this business statistic paper, so you have heard this ANOVA or different type of t-test. So apart from these, we will also discuss the different types of analysis. You can say regression analysis, we will talk about the factor analysis, we will talk about the discriminant analysis, then we will discuss about your structural equation modeling, then we will talk about multidimensional scaling, then conjoint analysis. So there are different analyses, and we will discuss how to do the analysis, how to do the data entry, and then when you have data, then how will you do the analysis. And the last step is report preparation and the presentation. So this is the last step. In the report preparation, you will write everything from the problem definition to the data analysis and preparation. Data preparation and analysis, and what interpretation or what kind of information you finally get from your this analysis, from this research process. So in report preparation will start from problem definition, and it will end what information finally you are getting after analyzing your data, and what are the who will use that information, and what are the implications of your study. So that is the 6 stages of you can say 6 stages of the research, that is problem definition, development of an approach to the problem, then research design formulation, field work or data collection, data preparation and analysis, and the last is report preparation and the presentation. Clear? Example, one day I received a phone call from a student named Arpan who introduced himself as one of our alumni. He was working for a restaurant chain in town and wanted help analyzing the data he had collected while conducting a research. Okay, so there is one student. What is written? There is one student and he has collected some data. He wanted to do some research on some restaurant chain and he has collected some data. Now, yeah. Now, when we met, he presented me a copy of the questionnaire and asked how he should analyze the data. My first question to him was, what is the problem being addressed? Okay, so here Mr. Arpan has already collected data and he want to analyze his data, but he was not aware about the problem. When he looked perplexed, I explained that data analysis is not an independent exercise. Rather, the goal of data analysis is to provide information related to the problem component. Yes, so before performing any kind of research, it is not required that you have data. Firstly, means you will define your problem first, you will define your objective first, you will define your variables first, and then you will collect your data. You cannot say, ma'am, I have already collected data. Now tell me what is my problem and what should be my objective. That is the wrong way
Ma'am,
of the research. If I say you have to do some project means you should know the problem on what topic you are going to do your research. Okay, so like I said, problem identification. So you have to choose the topic. On what topic I should do my research. Let's say you will say, ma'am, COVID-19 impact on tourism industry. You want to do some research on this, or you want to do effect of demonetization on Indian economy. So that is the problem. Now, in demonetization is a problem, COVID-19 is a problem, you can say, or anything, whatever you want to, or you want to say, let's say you want to know the employee commitment of some bank, let's say SDFC Bank or SBI Bank. So what is the employee commitment? So this is the problem, small problem you have, and now you have to define your objective from this problem to identify the effect of demonetization on Indian economy, or how does this COVID-19 has affected the tourism sector, or not only tourism sector, the overall Indian economy, you can say, or world economy, you can say. Similarly, for employee commitment, if I say, what is the job satisfaction of to know the job satisfaction of the employees who are working in the XUV, let's say, the faculties and the teaching and the non-teaching stuff like this. So these are the problems. You have to identify that problem on what topic I'm going to do my research. So you should know it well in advance. Now, if I say job satisfaction of employees, so you have to do certain kind of literature review. You will go through the literature review and you will identify the different variables. Let's say job satisfaction, it will obviously depend on the employee commitment, or you can say it will depend on the work environment. It will depend on the other things also, like the boss or the work environment is also included. So these are the things these are the variables, and everything you have to do. You have to identify the variables. If I say demonetization effect on economy, so what are the factors that how does this demonetization is affected? So you have to know. If, or you can say the sales of my product is very low. So why sales is very low? So there might be different factors. Let's say the consumer attitude is not good, or the quality wise my product is good. So these are the factors you can, or these are the different variables that are affecting my this result. So you have to know the problem, then from that problem you will define your objective, and then objective you will define the different variables that you will use in your study, and then accordingly you will make your questionnaire, collect your data, then you will do analysis, and finally interpretation or information, whatever you get. Clear?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.